Today on Teuty's track analysis, we have the track of the day for February 10th, God Valley by Intax. God Valley is a multi-route track with routes made from dirt, grass, and plastic. Each of these routes also contains small sections of road and sausage blocks, and the dirt route also has a small plastic piece. There is a GPS for each route, and each route also has its own single finish. I spent the majority of my time driving the grass route as I found it far easier than the other routes and would rate the grass route a 6 out of 10 for difficulty. I finished the track with a time of 42.291, which was about 100th ahead of the author medal time. In order to give the track a fair rating, I need a bit more time to drive each route, so later on I will comment below the video on what that ranking will be. Luckily for me, and for today's analysis, the current world record goes, driven by that ski freak, also took the grass route. They had a time of 41.408, and this is 0.883 ahead of my personal best. And before we start out, I just want to say that I do not know if this grass route will be the fastest by the end of the day or not. It just so happens that the top placements right now are mostly on the grass track, and this is also the one I chose because it was the easiest route for me. So right off the bat, we'll see the world record and I take slightly different routes on this one. Ultimately, it doesn't cost us any speed, it's just a shorter route overall. Setting up for this grass turn here, you want to be a little bit wider than I am, at least a car width away from the corner of that black. Overall, my location isn't terrible here, just being a little bit wider would have given me a little bit extra exit speed. As we go through the corner, we'll see we remain on a somewhat even pace with the world record getting slightly further ahead. However, the biggest difference will be on this straight, where the world record will do some wiggles to gain a little bit more speed, and we'll see them pull a little bit further ahead here. That moves us up to the sausage block here, which I originally thought would be faster if you go down to the right here. Gives you early ground contact, but it does make it harder to get over the sausage block and down to the left. But eventually I came to the conclusion that you just want to kind of take it a little bit over the middle here to the left, so you can get a nice smooth entrance to the ramp. For the exit to this ramp, you want to be going down to the left, but you also want to be turning to the right here. So on the exit, your car will turn in the air and you will get a nice smooth landing into the turn. This will bring us into the small road section here, which you want to remain pretty far to the left. And you also want to be turning very hard to the left before you even exit this road section. And as you see, doing those things results in a pretty smooth line here through this grass turn. That moves us into this small sausage block here, which I really struggled to get consistently. I couldn't figure if you wanted to enter high or low, but here we'll see the world record takes a very low line here. And then moving through the turn, and for the exit, you also want to be right in the middle of this section, maybe even to the left side of this middle piece. Being either too high or too low exiting here will result in a lot of airtime or bonking the edge of the piece. Again, this is the part I struggled on the most, both the entrance and exit to this. If you can nail it, it does result in a pretty significant speed gain. And just moving up a little bit here, I just want to point out that you want to remain straighter here. The amount of times I turned into this wall here on the right side was very high. Out of your peripheral vision when you're driving this, it's very hard to see with the black on black. And coming up here is another very tricky part. I lost a lot of runs here as well. You want to set up kind of a left side to middle here, and then as we move to the checkpoint, you really want to hug the left edge of that checkpoint. And then basically immediately after the checkpoint, you want to go from a left-hand turn to a right-hand turn to get around this upcoming corner. These are very, very tough lines though, and I messed up so many times here, not turning fast enough, and you really just kind of have to commit to it if you are on that line. And if everything lined up, you should be able to get around that corner and drive to the finish. So again, hard to really say what I really feel about this track. I need to give the other routes a bit more of a try. I tried them a little bit, but they seem significantly harder than this grass route. So if you have tried the other routes and have not done the grass routes yet, I would highly suggest trying it. Also, we'll see which route ends up being faster at the end of the day. Maybe it's the grass route, which is currently seems to be the favorite route, but you never know. In my discovery, I thought the plastic route might be the fastest, but you never know. This doesn't seem like the greatest track for a cup of the day, because if you pick a route in qualifiers, you kind of have to stick with it, and it could possibly be the worst route, you could be stuck with the hardest routes, and you could just end up in a bad division because you just picked something that wasn't fantastic. Something I hope you thought was fantastic was this video, so I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please like it and subscribe. Check the description for links to my Twitch and Discord if you're interested in those, and be sure to check out all the other track analysis videos out on the channel already. That'll do it for today and for the week of videos. I will see you guys on Monday for the next track analysis.